On Christmas Eve, 1968, as Apollo 8 orbited the moon, astronaut Bill Anders looked up to take a picture of the lunar surface. But instead, what he captured changed everything. Rising above the moon's horizon was Earth, just a fragile blue dot hanging in the eternal darkness. Beautiful, isolating, terrifying. That photo, known as Earthrise, is more than a historical image. It's a mirror, a reminder of how small, delicate, and unified we really are. But for many, like myself, it also brings an unsettling feeling. Space isn't just magnificent, it's monstrous. It's not only awe-inspiring, but also cold, quiet, and completely indifferent to our existence. This duality is what makes space one of the most fascinating topics in human thought. It excites our imagination and stirs our deepest fears. So why does space feel so overwhelming? Why do some of us get chills when we see the rings of Saturn or the black void around a distant star? Let's explore. Let's begin with us, Earth. When viewed from space, our planet is just a speck. That tiny dot holds every story you've ever heard, every person you've ever known, every tear, every laugh, every war, every love, all of it, floating in a sea of black nothingness. Astronauts often describe a shift in perspective called the overview effect, a deep emotional realization of Earth's vulnerability. Apollo astronaut Edgar Mitchell once said, "From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty, but you and I don't need to travel to space to feel this. Just looking at an image of Earth from Saturn, barely a pixel in the Cassini spacecraft's photo, is enough to spark the realization we are unimaginably small. And in that smallness, there is both peace and panic." Let's zoom out for a moment, not with equations or diagrams, but with imagination. Think about the planets in our solar system, not as classroom posters or science textbook figures, but as real, ancient, silent worlds orbiting our sun. Each one has its own personality, its own story, and yet, not one of them feels like home. Mars, for instance, has always fascinated us. Its rusty landscapes and rolling hills seem oddly familiar, like a desert we've driven through in a dream. But it's a deadly mirage. One breath without a suit, and you're gone. The cold alone is enough to end a life, and the thin air offers no mercy. Then there's Venus, Earth's so-called twin, but it's more like a mirror from a horror story. Temperatures hot enough to melt lead, crushing atmospheric pressure, winds faster than any hurricane on Earth, a place that looks like a planet but behaves like a furnace designed to erase everything. And what about the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn? You can't even land on them. There's no solid ground to find, just swirling storms, deadly gases, and a fall that never ends. As a child, I'd have nightmares of falling into Jupiter. It wasn't the fall that scared me, it was the nothingness. The idea of being swallowed whole by something that wouldn't even notice. Even Neptune, with its hypnotic blue hue, feels alien. It's so far away, so cold, that it almost doesn't feel real, like a distant dream you're not sure you were meant to see. There's a specific term for the unease many of us feel when confronted with the sheer immensity of space. Astromegalophobia, the fear of enormous celestial objects. It's not just about size. It's the psychological weight of something so vast that your mind struggles to hold it. Imagine standing before Jupiter, knowing it's over 1,300 times larger than Earth, its presence overwhelming every instinct you have. And then there's its great red spot, a swirling storm more than twice the size of our planet, raging without pause for over 350 years. It's not just a weather system. It's a monument to time, to power, to indifference. These objects don't care if we exist. They don't even notice. And that's what chills us the most, the idea that in front of something so colossal, we are not even a whisper. We're invisible. And yet, we still look up. If you think our solar system is wild, wait until you meet the exoplanets. Take Gliese 436b, a Neptune-sized planet where ice is on fire. The gravity is so intense that the water can't evaporate, so even though it's scorching hot, the ice stays and burns. Or HD 1189733b, which has glass rain. Yes, literal shards of glass falling sideways at 5,400 miles per hour, enough to shred anything to dust. And then there's J1407b. Picture Saturn with its elegant rings. Now, scale that up. J4407b's rings are 200 times wider than Saturn's, stretching 150 million kilometers, about the distance from Earth to the Sun. How is something like that even allowed to exist? It's almost unfair how magnificent and terrifying it is. Then come black holes, the cosmic monsters. They're not just scary because of their mass or the fact that they can tear stars apart. They're scary because we don't understand them. They bend space, distort time, and challenge everything we think we know. The largest known black hole, TON 619, is 66 billion times the mass of our Sun. It could swallow solar systems without effort. 11 entire solar systems could fit inside its event horizon. If you were to fall into a supermassive black hole, you wouldn't die right away. Time itself would distort. From your perspective, you'd fall for hours, watching the entire lifespan of the universe pass by before you finally cease to exist. That's not just terrifying, that's existentially incomprehensible. And yet black holes are only part of the story. The observable universe is 94 billion light-years across and expanding. But that's just the part we can see. The real size? We don't know. It could be infinite. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains 400 billion stars, but it's just one of hundreds of billions of galaxies in our observable patch. Zoom out even further, and you get galaxy clusters, superclusters. Laniakea, the supercluster we're in, stretches 110 million light-years wide, and even that is just a grain in the cosmic sandbox. When you see those deep space telescope images filled with tiny dots, every one of those dots is a galaxy, not a star, a galaxy. And in each galaxy, countless stars, even more planets, maybe even civilizations, but we'll likely never know. Which brings us to one of the most haunting questions of all. If the universe is so big, where is everybody? This is known as the Fermi Paradox. With billions of Earth-like planets in habitable zones, we should have found alien life by now, but we haven't. Maybe intelligent life is rare. Maybe civilizations destroy themselves before they can travel far. Or maybe the universe is just too vast, and we're shouting into a void where no one is close enough to hear. The silence is deafening. Even without air, space has sound. If you convert electromagnetic vibrations into audio, the Cassini spacecraft captured Jupiter's sounds. They're unsettling, like birds, but not quite, like something pretending to be familiar. Then there's Ganymede, a moon of Jupiter whose warped, eerie tones sound like a broken recording. And black holes? When they consume matter, they create deep, ominous ripples in gas that can be turned into sound. One was so low-pitched, it had to be raised 288 quadrillion times just so we could hear it. These aren't just eerie noises. They're the whispers of a cosmos we're only just beginning to understand. Voyager 1, Humanity's farthest spacecraft carries a golden record, a time capsule of who we are. Music, greetings, and images meant for someone or something out there. President Jimmy Carter's message on it ends with this: "We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours in a vast and awesome universe." But what if no one ever finds it? What if Voyager drifts alone, forever? That thought is more terrifying than any monster we've ever imagined. In the end, our fear of space isn't irrational. It's deeply human. We fear the unknown. We fear being alone. We fear the scale of things we can't control or comprehend. But fear isn't the enemy. It's the compass. Fear tells us where the frontier is and invites us to cross it. So as we stare into the night sky, into black holes, exoplanets, and that haunting cosmic question mark spotted by the James Webb Telescope, we are not just gazing into fear, we're reaching for meaning. We are small, yes, but we are curious, and curiosity is what makes us infinite. If you've made it this far, let me ask you something. If the universe is truly infinite, what's the weirdest thing that might be out there, just beyond what we can see? Click on the next video to explore just that. The unknown is calling.